Get this, guys. The word equity is actually mentioned 63 times in that budget. The word fentanyl, that drug killing thousands across our country, mentioned only twice. So while Biden is cutting $3 trillion from the deficit over the next decade, his budget plan would increase funding of this woke nonsense. The cost of going woke and neglecting real problems the country is facing right now is showing in the rise of crime, illegal migrants, illicit drug use, and inflation. People can't even afford to buy their groceries anymore. Joining me now is the Republican representative from Georgia, Andrew Clyde. Welcome, Congressman.
Well, thank you, Lydia. It's great to be with you this evening.
So we already know that this whole woke nonsense, diversity, equity, and inclusion is only causing more division among races. But financially, to hear the president talking about allocating all of this money, how can this be happening when we have so many real issues that really need to be addressed in our nation?
Well, you can tell an administration's priority by what they spend money on. And you can see that this is a woke and broke administration. They don't want to focus on the crisis that they're on the southern border. They don't want to focus on the energy crisis, on the crime crisis that is riddled through our Democrat-run cities. What they want to focus on is wokeness. They want, to change the fabric of our nation, right. And it's completely unacceptable. And that's why we in the Republican House are going to stand against this, and we are not going to accept his budget. It's dead on arrival. We're going to put our budget forward, which is, going to be a cut to the current 2023 budget, at least $130 billion cut. And we're going to bring our nation back into financial and fiscal responsibility.
And it's incredible. You'll hear Karine Jean-Pierre talking about how the Republicans want to defund the police, and now they're trying to switch the narrative. It's just fundamental lying. Every time I watch these press conferences, my mother, she's an immigrant from another country. She says, how can they get away with just lying to us like this? How does the Biden administration get away with lying so blatantly to the American people?
Well, the mainstream media covers it up and they accept it and they just take it for fact. It's not. And we see that time after time when what they say is a lie. But lies have consequences, and we're seeing the consequences in what's happening to our nation. Our economy is in the tank for all these crises that we're seeing. Spending's going up, inflation's at 40-year highs. This is devastating our economy. We are headed toward a recession, and this administration doesn't really care. They want to drive a woke agenda and destroy our nation from the inside out.
Crime, it's just one of the major issues we're seeing on the rise. A major reason for the increase is woke prosecutors like Alvin Bragg. They're refusing to do their job. I want you to take a look at this report from Washington, D.C. 67% of crimes were not prosecuted in 2022. D.A. Bragg, he's downgraded 52% of felony cases to misdemeanors. What can be done about these woke district attorneys? I know here in New York, Governor Hochul, she could have fired Bragg and we wouldn't be happy. We wouldn't have what's happening right now. But what else can be done?
Well, I'll tell you, the communities have to stand against these woke prosecutors because they're more concerned, just like Alvin Bragg, they're more concerned with political points and driving a political agenda than they are the safety of their community. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we here in Washington, D.C., we have authority over the city of Washington. We in Congress, just passed this bill that took down the woke and soft on crime D.C. Council's revised criminal code act, which would have eliminated minimum sentences. And that's inexcusable. You do the crime, you do the time. That's what's got to happen here. This is not rehabilitation 101. This is you do the crime, you go to jail, and you stay in jail. And that's what will reduce crime on our streets.
That's right. And if you're a repeat offender, you belong, like some sort of like a therapy isn't going to work for you anymore. Well, thank you so much, Congressman. We also want to thank all of our viewers for their support with DirecTV, as well as you, Congressman, for your support during this time.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That's a great win for liberty.
Thank you so much, sir.